to Mock the Week. I'm Dara. Joining me this week are Ari Eldjarn, Ellie Taylor and Ed Gamble, James Acaster, Hugh Dennis and Tom Allen. We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Ari, welcome to the show. Which category would you like?
I think I'll pick sport.
Sport is a hot thing right now. The answer is 3.4 billion. What is the question?
Is this Prince Philip's life expectancy?
Is it for a £10 stake? How much will I win if Narnia win the World Cup?
Is it how many antihistamines I've taken in the last week?
Is it the number of times vegans will tell you that they are vegan?
I'm sorry, I find that offensive. I am vegan.
Oh, go on. Tell us why you're right.
Is it? How many pieces of confetti does the average bride inhale on her wedding day?
Is it in the extended version of 7 Days, on what day does Craig David bury the body?
What is the pound per square inch pressure on Kim Kardashian's pants? Just as an estimate.
Yes.
Hugh, did you Google who Kim Kardashian was before you wrote that?
I know about her, and I know about Stormzy.
Is it how many stars did Brian Cox tell Dara there were in the sky before they kissed for the first time?
Wasn't the first time. I'd lunged at him long before that.
Is it? How many anonymous Father's Day cards did I send my friend Shagger Pete this year?
Do they know the actual correct answer?
I think it's how many viewers are expected to watch the World Cup.
That's good enough. Thank you very much, Hugh. Thank you very much. Yes, question I was looking for was how many people across the globe are expected to watch this year's FIFA World Cup tournament in Russia? Have you been watching it?
Religiously.
Okay, that's a no. That's a.
Oh, I'm not religious.
Okay. That's a no. I'm guessing no.
Dara, I'm gay, of course no.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen a football game really before until this year. It's a lot of running around.
It is.
A lot of
large
it was
part.
all up the other end, and then they kicking it off the side all the time just to stop the game. And I sort of thought, why don't they put those inflatable tubes at the side like they do on bowling? And then there's a manager there. Well, he's not a manager, is he? He's just shouting all the time. He's never even seen a staff roster planning the holidays, and he's shouting. Imagine if a manager in an office did that, like, Sandra, send those emails. No one would do anything. Then he sits on a car seat. I was watching all these people in bibs, brightly coloured bibs, running up and down the side. Turns out they had no bearing on the game whatsoever. Then we had the interval, and you know, in America, like if you watch it on the television in America, they get Beyonce in their games and marching bands. What do we get? 3 old men moaning around a coffee table. I mean, give me Strictly any day of the week.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Do you know what I'm really pleased about? Because England's women's team did really well in the 2015 World Cup. They got to the semis. And I just think it's really nice that the men now are getting another little try. And then whatever happens, they get to come home and they'll still be fathers, sons and husbands. And I think that's really important.
Did anyone see how Iceland have been getting on? Anyone, for example, like a comedian from Reykjavik who might just be here from Iceland? Ari, exciting times for Iceland.
Yeah, I think the best description of that match against Argentina was an American pundit who went like, Iceland beat Argentina 1-1. I think that sums up the mood of that game for us.
Because I knew you were coming on this, but I've been researching into Iceland. And it is a fantastic, I mean, it's 346,000 people, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they don't have surnames. You don't have normal surnames. So you take the first name and then it's someone's son. And my father was called John, so I would not be Dennis. My name in Icelandic would be Hugh Johnson.
Yes.
I'm very pleased with that.
Very good.
That's kept me happy for 3 or 4 days now.
Yeah, that and your big dick. Ari, is it true as well that the Iceland team have different jobs as well as being footballers?
Yes, well, some of them actually do have a day job. The coach famously is a dentist, which...
Dentist?
Yes, a lot of people think that's quite funny.
I think it's fantastic. He said we will ask questions of the opposition. I thought the first one is going to be, do you floss?
Yeah, the goalkeeper is a film director?
Yeah, he actually edited like the commercial for the football team. So he like...
He's slow motion shots of himself. And thunderclap. The thunderclap?
Yeah, actually, we call it the Viking clap. I don't know why people call it the thunderclap here. That just sounds like some terrible disease, like on...
What is it, though? What is it?
Do the thing! Do the thing we brought you here to do. Just do the thing and let's go see it. Whoa, stop. No, you are just dreadful at this. Stop following his feet. The pause is long and it gets narrower. Here's a clue. His hands, when his hands move, maybe there, right? Rather than any time the mood struck you.
I think we should film this and just put the word Brexit in front of it.
Okay, let's try that again, shall we?
All clapping themselves like you got that right the first time. That's how happy you were with yourselves there. And there were still 2 people who got that wrong.
It's so impressive because you guys are so synchronised. And the most synchronised thing that English fans can do is dance to Come On Eileen at a wedding. I mean, that's...
Or like say, you're just a shit shop in London, which they said before the Iceland match. And then they lost this.
What's the thing you shout, by the way, during the thunderclap?
It's hoo.
Okay, but I know the noise it is.
What does it mean?
Something?
It literally means nothing. It just means like, yeah.
Sounds like a goddamn owl.
Like it was really like when the French adopted it.
to Hugh.
Good, got at it. Very good.
To wit, to Hugh Johnson.
Let's get it trending, Hugh.
Yeah. How has a barber in Serbia been celebrating the World Cup?
Has he been cutting people's hair?
Yes, he has. He cuts it very well, though, to be fair. This is what he did to somebody's head. There we go.
That is...
I was going to get the same on my lady garden, but I didn't want a messy bush.
Oh, hello, Lionel. I didn't expect to see you here.
If you'd asked for a Neymar, you would just have got a Brazilian.
I'm getting that done.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm getting it done, but it's going to be my face, so people know it's me from the back.
They could give that to the players. Yeah.
Beautiful shading.
Imagine if you hadn't asked for that and they just got the little mirror out at the end. You were like, ah!
That is quite a taunt, sculpting a bald man out of hair.
Hugh, may I say, you look absolutely delicious in hair.
Yeah,
Your eyes are piercing on the back of a head.
Yeah. Only you were made of hair.
Hugh Johnson.
Moving on, however, whose job has become available this week?
Oh, sorry about this, Dara. We couldn't think of any other way to do this. We didn't want to tell you in private because we know you get very angry. So we wanted to tell you in a public place so you don't lash out at Hugh again, okay?
Yeah. We took a vote, it was unanimous. Hugh led the charge, if I'm honest.
Was there anyone who voted against this, or was it just...
Andy Parsons. But we told him you no longer have a say here.
So essentially it's a coup.
Yeah.
Hugh? The Hugh coup.
Hugh coup.
That's what you wanted me to do.
That's the noise
I think it's David Dimbleby
Yes.
from Question Time.
Yes, it is.
And I bet he can't wait. I mean, he's not retiring, is he? He must be desperate to get out of there. I mean, what an awful job. We have to turn up in those dusty church halls with those miserable people who've got all these opinions. And the thing is with that program is they just sit there with their arms folded going, oh, I don't see why I can't just have everything I want. It's like the football. They all shout. Like, I was in a pub. These people were shouting, and I said, can you keep your voice down? And they said, if you don't stop talking to us, we'll throw you through that window. I said, if you don't stop shouting, I'll gladly let you.
For the change, here it comes. Now we play a round called You're Not Zinging Anymore. This game involves Ari and Tom, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. Okay, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is travel. Who wants to come in on that? Ari.
Well, I do a lot of travel. I actually do a lot of flying. I had to fly over here because I live on an island. I flew with Icelandair, and I used to work for Icelandair as a flight attendant. It's actually quite common to only have like men serving the food and only women flying the planes. And this is the 21st century after all. But a lot of the passengers are like elderly men from the 20th century. And it was so much fun to be on those flights with the trolley because you get to see the elderly male passenger reaction to two men with food, which was usually like, look, Gunnar, the captain himself is bringing coffee for us. Hang on, who is flying the plane? And then a woman would do the announcement, politely, professionally, like, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sigríður Einarsdóttir, I'm your captain today. We'll be flying to London Heathrow in approximately 3. And these old men would be like, it's a woman, it's a woman, it's a woman, it's a woman. It was like a musical number starting, it's a woman, it's a woman, it's a woman. How could this happen? And they would like ask, like, excuse me, is it really a woman flying the plane? And it annoyed me so much that I always said, yes, and she's having her period. You have a problem with that, old man? And they would ask, like, is that allowed? Of course it's allowed. What's wrong with you? It's ridiculous. In fact, I trust a woman way better to fly a plane than a man. They seem to take it more seriously. I can understand everything they say during the announcement. I never understand the male pilots at Icelandair. They all sound the same. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain. And I thought it makes spirits a little bit of a delay because hope you enjoy the service. And when it's finally over, people are like, what? What did he say? Like, it must be awful if you're afraid of flying. But if you are afraid of flying, you should never fly with our other airline in Iceland because it's called Wow! But it's not a very reassuring name for an airline. Wow, it's like they don't even know how they got up there in the first place. Wow! How did we do that? An airline called Wow, that's like having a bank that's called Fuck! Put your money here!
Okay, that leaves us with Tom. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is marriage.
Okay. Yes, well, since it's Pride Month, I will also talk about being gay, because it's all I've got. And, and no, in many ways, in this country, it's a great time to be gay, because we have things like gay marriage, or as I like to call it, garage. Garage is designed to bring equality so that gay people can finally be as miserable as straight people. It comes up against a lot of opposition, and you see it now, like recently in Australia, they had it where it comes up against opposition from a lot of religious groups and clubs, the Catholic Church. And you can understand why. I'm sure a lot of us will remember the Bible stories from school. Do you remember the one where Jesus stood on the mount, didn't he? And he said, verily I say to thee, love thy neighbor as thy love thyself, look after the poor, heal the sick, feed the hungry, don't start fights or wars, just look after each other, love each other, and you'll all be fine. But I cannot stand them damn queers. I think it's disgusting what they do to each other. I mean, why have they got to be so up in your face about it all the time? I mean, who's the wife? It's a very famous parable.
Thank you very much, Tom. Points that go to Tamara. Everybody come back. Our next round is called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, what's going on here?
This looks like the reunion of a folk band where there's one surviving member.
Corbyn and Thumb.
Is Corbyn counting the number of people who paid full price for Labour Live?
Is he saying, and after the first contest, I decree that the gladiator may live? Release the lions! This is Labour Live, which is actually the touring version of One Born Every Minute.
This is Labour Live, which is the festival that Labour started up to rival Glastonbury.
Is this Jeremy Corbyn saying, could all 15 of you just come right here in front of me?
Is somebody shouting out, is that a strongly worded letter to Theresa May in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? I laughed at it about 2 times on the build-up to that.
Can you tell me what it actually is, as if it isn't really
Well, I'll
obvious?
tell you what it is,
Tell me what
Dara.
it is.
It's
Yes.
Labour Live.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you very much. Hugh. This is a picture of Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn at the Labour Live Festival, which was attended by around 13,000 people in North London over the weekend. How did it go? Did it seem to go well?
Well, it went okay, I think. They sold a few tickets and then they had to give some away, didn't they?
Marilyn sold 10,000 tickets and then they had to... As
And
we
that's
say,
to avoid
paper it.
embarrassment. But
Yes.
that's why this show is free.
I mean, it looked like a nice festival.
Yeah.
I mean, if I wanted to go and see an old man shout at a crowd of people, I'd probably just go and see the Rolling Stones.
Slightly older demographic at the festival, I think it would be fair to say.
Yep.
Just as Jeremy Corbyn's speech hit the pinnacle, everyone dropped one of their angina pills.
I didn't know this show was free.
The show here.
Yeah,
Have you paid to be on it?
yeah, I pay every week.
The magic numbers were playing,
Yep.
but everyone was quite disappointed to find out that's just Diane Abbott reading out statistics.
And then, but there was a point of controversy.
The clue's in the picture,
The
isn't
clue
it?
is in the picture, yes. There's some people unfurled a banner saying stop backing Brexit, and then sang stop backing Brexit to the Jeremy Corbyn song, which, by the way, doesn't work.
Sorry, what's the Jeremy Corbyn song?
It's very annoying, it's oddly tribal, and it puts off any new followers. Much like the Labour Party.
Did Corbyn bring out any special guests like they do? You know, just like a leader of Hamas to sing Islands in the Stream together?
No, he didn't do that. It's a really awkward situation here at the moment because of Brexit, which I presume you've seen, that he's a leader of the opposition who possibly should be anti-Brexit because they represent then 48%, but he's secretly in favour of Brexit, so he doesn't want to be anti-Brexit, although there's a big push, whereas the leader of the government is secretly anti-Brexit, but has to be pro-Brexit. So it is, honestly, it's like some weird Shakespearean gender reversal. At some point, they'll all reveal their mask. But you're Malviolo all the time.
And Jeremy Corbyn's got Theresa May just like tattooed
Just tattooed the back of his head. Yeah. In other news, what did Theresa May pledge this week?
More money to the NHS.
Yes, she did. And where is she going to get the money?
Well, no one knows. I think from the pockets of people who are under general anaesthetic. It doesn't include social care either, does it? So you're still not quite sure what's going to happen to old people because you can't carry on putting them all in the House of Lords.
I don't think we need to worry about where it comes from. It's going in. It's like someone sends you a drink at a bar. I don't know if it's got Rohypnol in it. It's a pina colada. I'm going to drink it.
Oh, did Iceland come out of the EU, though? Did they leave the EU?
No, we were never part of the EU.
Oh, how ignorant of me.
We're part of something called the EEA, which is a bit like being in the EU, except we don't get a vote on anything. So that's your future, basically, I think.
Moving on, what's going on here?
Is this what happens when you stand next to an electromagnet with metal fillings?
She's thinking, I wish I'd never bought this jacket from Roger Moore in Live and Let Die. That's...
She does look like the Bond villain who just found out she hasn't got any of the funding for any of her evil plans.
She looks like she's got a particularly tangy fantastic. Apologies, Tangfastic.
Fantastic. I can't believe you got that.
I wish I could join in, but they've actually got gelatin in there.
You are totally not coming to my 8th birthday party.
Or your leaving party.
Feel the burn, Dara.
I'm warming my hands on you, you've been burned so bad. Still smouldering over here. Good job, Ellie.
She's doing. No, she was told this week that she gave the evil eye. She did the evil eye.
No, not the evil eye per se.
Death
is
stare.
Death stare.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a very, very different thing.
It is. You'll know when you ever get the evil eye.
She's supposedly got a death stare, but we've all been sat here looking at it and are all very much alive, so it would appear that's another thing she's completely incompetent at.
Yes, apparently she's given the death stare to Corbyn at Question Time very regularly.
Alive.
Yes, alive. Yvette Cooper.
Alive.
Nick Clegg.
Dead.
I'm not sure.
I'll give him my death stare. I've got a real good death stare.
Go on.
You're gonna die.
No, if you have to say you're going to die, it's an ineffective death stare. It's like...
How's this one?
I always get worried when Hugh spins round too quickly.
Yeah.
So we're going to get a face full of the huge Johnson.
Don't you worry. I've tethered it.
To his chair, though, so when he gets up for scenes, it's going to be very...
Feel like they're bit in Jaws where they keep pinning barrels to the shark. Like you're attaching more chairs to his cock just to slow him down. Trying to get to the microphone, get him with a harpoon. We're going to need a bigger boat.
To be perfectly honest, I can very easily get to the microphone and not move the chair.
Okay, wow. I feel that the points go to Ari Eldjarn. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. Okay, the first subject is things you wouldn't hear on a news programme.
Scientists say it could save the corporation millions, but the question still remains, can the robot be taught to press the buzzer?
And I've taken a photo of the suspect on a Polaroid camera as he left court. More on this story as it develops.
Now, in a video which some viewers may find disturbing, Jacob Rees-Mogg attempts small talk with a woman.
Now, British media have not mentioned the word Brexit in more than, Christ.
We should be expecting some westerly winds and some rain coming down from the north, and I'm really enjoying stroking this horse.
Well, I'm not sure he's in the right job. The diplomatic correspondent has just told me to fuck off.
I'm here in war-torn Syria, and my producer really must hate me, because I'm the weatherman.
England has won the World Cup.
Iceland, the country, have now sued Iceland, the supermarket, and had all its assets frozen. Thank you.
And now the news where you are, there's a bear behind you.
So let's find out what's happening in your area, which can't be all that important, otherwise it would have made the main show.
The poverty here is appalling, which is why I'm moving to ITV.
And now it's time for the weather. Carol, is it going to get any better, or do we have to put up with another week of your absolute bullshit?
Damn right this is fake news. I'm not even a news reporter. I'm your wife, stood in your living room, holding a picture frame in front of my face and making up facts about ISIS.
It's 6 o'clock, and you know what that means? It's time for frickin' news! Give me all the stories, frickin' sexy news, boy, sexy sex with me, Hugh Edwards.
News correspondents having sex with young comedians. Is it right? We cross now to Nick Robinson, who's inside Whitehall.
Okay, the next topic is unlikely lines from a children's book.
Yeah, Mr. Tickle, you think those arms are big? Wait until you see Hugh's dick.
Oh, Grandma, what big ears you have, said Red Riding Hood. Fuck off, said Grandma.
Do you know what? Said the big friendly giant. I've just been fired from Mock the Week.
How do I get my hair like this? Said Tintin. Well, have you seen There's Something About Mary?
After dropping the breadcrumbs, Hans and Gretel dropped acid to find their way back to Glastonbury.
And then he ate 6 plates of goulash, 5 plates of red cabbage and a pie from Budapest. He was a very Hungarian caterpillar.
Piss off, Malfoy, you little Nazi incel weirdo.
Where's Thomas? Said the passenger. Well, he's delayed, said the fat controller. What do you mean, said the passenger. Oh, I'm not going to explain it. That's real life. Get used to it, you little prick.
One of you, said Toad, is a mole for the Russian government. It's either Ratty, Badger, Moley, or Elena Simonov.
Look, said Harry, Wittgenstein's having a spliff. The philosopher's stoned.
And then Paddington told the lady bear to brace herself before flipping her over and opening a fresh jar of marmalade.
Guys, my dog literally just died. Can we not already happily refer to ourselves as the famous four?
Miss Chatterbox just couldn't stop talking. And that's why we had to kill her, said Mr. Mafia.
Just tell him it stands for Big Friendly Giant, said Sophie. He'll be mad and his heart will be broken if he knows it means bollock-faced granddad.
In the end, all the children died.
We're going on a bear hunt. We've already shot Paddington and turned Winnie the Pooh into a fucking rug. We're not scared.
At the end of that round, the points go to James here and Tom. That's the end of the show. This week's winners are James Acaster, Hugh Dennis and Tom Allen. Commiserations to Ari Eldjarn, Ellie Taylor and Ed Gamble. Thanks for watching. I'm Dara. Good night.
order. In the